We're back, and we're answering your questions now. First up, Jimmy, for you. From Jason and Big D down in Dallas, is Skechers a $40 stock, or is it time for me to get out?
Jason, look, I like where your head is here. You want to make a good 25% here. I honestly think there are easier ways to do it. The stock is up almost 50% in just a few months. It is subject to the whims of consumer taste, which can change on a dime. You look at a 5-year chart of this thing, it's been sort of in this $30 plus or minus $5 range all that time. I'll grant you it's not very expensive. The chart looks okay, but I think there are a lot of easier ways to make 25% in the stock market than this.
All right, Jenny, you're up next. Daniel in Michigan, thank you so much for the question. CenturyLink is coming off a 52-week low. He's holding a position at a loss. Time to add more or get out? Great question.
Great question. I'm holding the position at a loss too, unfortunately. But I'm still holding it, and I'm comfortable with it. When I added it at the end of 2017, the note that I wrote said, look, even if they cut the dividend, the investment case is still intact, and I believe that still to be true. They have a ton of fiber, I think close to 500,000 miles of fiber. This has been one of the noisiest, messiest stocks that I've owned in a long time, and I think that noise has put pressure on the shares. But where you are today is you've got an 8.25 yield. There was just something that came out on accounting issues last week. I think that those are actually going to be okay. Yesterday, the CEO and CFO bought back bought 1.5 million shares, and there was an analyst upgrade today. I think Oppenheimer saying $20. So I think you could hold it and do well with it.
Okay, good question, good answer.
Thank you.
Joe, JD.com from Sue in California. What do you do? Hold, sell?
Well, from a technical perspective, this is a stock that fell from 50 in January of 18 down to 19. Technically doesn't look good. Let's look at the fundamentals of this company. I like the partnership that it has with Google, although a small one. I think it's about $550 million. The end of March, the partnership with Tencent is going to expire. I expect that's still going to get renewed once again. And I think you have to really make the analogy here to Amazon. And when Amazon eventually showed the growth, showed the margin expansion, I think JD.com is on track to do that at some point in the latter half of this year. So I like, although while technically it doesn't look good, I think fundamentally you want to hang in there.
Okay, John, your turn. A tweet from Burmy Mentor, at Burmy Mentor. Urban Outfitters. What's the deal, says Burmy?
They have been buying puts in Urban Outfitters since it was $48 stock in August. They aggressively buy puts. The thing trades lower. They roll them down. They've rolled down and down and down. Now it's $29 stock. There is no read-through for me on this except that there's no believers in the stock right here. So I don't know why I want to catch this one.
Okay. Finally, Amin in Hong Kong has a question for Liz. Financials. What do you think about financials? We have this great conversation at the beginning of the show about rates moving lower. What about financials?
Well, I know that this is against what you think about financials, so this is risky, but still positive on financials.
Right.
And I think part of the question, too, was do they have upside like retail? Both cyclical sectors, can they have a V-shaped bounce like something like retail? Probably not. What you need for financials is a steepening curve, and we're likely not going to see that in a strong way until the Fed starts to change the balance sheet a little bit.
Anybody have an opinion on that? I'm sure
Don't
we
we have to move on?
Go ahead. Anybody else on the financials?
I'm long JP Morgan. I'm long American Express. American Express is my final trade in the last 10 days. I believe in that franchise. I think JP Morgan's best in breed. Citi on a pullback. I think that's a buying opportunity. At some point, the financials will be okay.
I think we'll come out the same place. Goldman Sachs, 10 points cheaper. I'm in that.